Hello and welcome to Thursday's Hands and Heart. I'm so glad you're here. Got a couple of minutes before the 8:45 live stream begins, but I'm so glad that you are here. I'm here, you're here, even if you're joining later on the recording, we are still here together. So I've been focusing this week on practicing our classes through the lens of the fascia. If you are following my Patreon articles, I've started including with the live stream links some. Good morning, Jay. Glad you're here. I've started sharing some information that, as I've been researching, I want to share with you. So I've published some articles along with the live stream links this week. I am particularly fascinated by scientific articles, even when I don't understand all of the language there. And in particular, I found an article this week that was an exploration of a bunch of the research that's been done by scientists on traditional Chinese medicine's channel theory, about why acupuncture works. And for eons, Western science and Western thinking just completely denied the efficacy of traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture as a whole lot of psychosomatic fakery. But in the late 20th century, Western science started to consider that maybe there was something to it because it was clearly an effective method of wellness and illness prevention and helping to cure illnesses, particularly chronic diseases. And they couldn't find so they were looking for the meridians. They were looking for these little points in the body where acupuncturists were inserting those needles, and they weren't finding the connections. Right, they were not able to map the meridians from traditional Chinese medicine and literally the maps of the human body's meridians. Western science was not able to map those directly to places in the body. And they were looking in a lot of different places. They were looking in the muscle fibers, they were looking in connective tissue, they were looking in the organs, they were looking in whole body systems, and not able to map them and make direct correlations until the turn into this century. They started looking at the fascia network as a potential location of these meridians. And what do you know? They started finding direct correlations between acupuncture points that were listed as meridians in the body and the fascia network, and how that fascia network connected up to particular things that seemed unrelated, right? Like the kidney meridian affected things that didn't have anything to do with the kidneys, supposedly. And so I think that's really fascinating. And it also, I think, really speaks to a couple of things. First of all, that the body is just comprised of a whole lot of fluids that are flowing around through the body through these hoses, right? And also this idea of a completely whole and connected and integrated system. Now, what does that have to do with yoga? Same kind of idea, is that things that we know and understand just by moving our body and meditating and breathing, that now modern science is catching up to all of this wisdom that we've actually had for a long time. Okay, all of that aside, I'm glad that you're here and that we've been able to explore all of the work that we've done this week through the lens of the fascia. So thanks for being here for that. Next week, we're going to turn our attention to polyvagal theory and the vagus nerve. So lots more to come on that. And then I'm going to be teaching tarot classes in April. Also totally unrelated, but on Sunday nights, alternate Sunday nights, I'm going to be doing a tarot lounge over the course of almost a year. So it'll take a little while to get through the whole tarot, but I hope you'll join me for that. All right, let's get started with Thursday's Hands and Heart. We're going to start with our Kapalabhati breathing, the skull shining breath of fire, whatever you want to call this. It's a really strong exhale out through the nostrils and then just letting the inhale happen on its own. All right, ready? We're going to do this for 2 full minutes. If you need to take a break, feel free. And if you need to breathe differently, also do that. Do as you feel, but give it 2 minutes if you can. Skull shining breath. Here we go. Keeping your teeth together and your tongue on the roof of the mouth can help keep all of this stable while you're making a lot of force with that exhale. 1 more minute. 30 seconds. Take a huge breath in. Fill up completely. Sigh it away. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do another breath technique here. So we're going to pair the breath with some stretching movement, some spinal movement. Let me scoot back just a little bit. All right, so what we're going to do is inhale and reach the arms all the way up. So really full rotation with the arms. So reaching them out and up as you inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward, put your hands on the earth, let your forehead sink down. Pause here for a breath. Sit back up. Inhale, stretch out and up. Let's do one more forward fold. Stay here for another breath. Sit back up. Reach out, reach up. And then exhale, bring your hands down and rest on the palms of the hands. Lift your chin, let your head tilt back. Pause here for a breath. Pull your shoulder blades together and lift your front ribs up towards the sky. Sit back up. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, come on down. Palms on the earth. Pull your shoulder blades together. Lift your ribs, lift your chin. Stretch the throat. And there's our back bend. So we did a forward bend and a back bend. Let's reach the arms out and up. And then we're going to twist. So bring one hand to the opposite knee. Bring the other hand around you. Turn and look over your back shoulder. Twist and breathe. One breath. Inhale, come back around. Let's do the other side. And twist. And inhale, sweep up. And then as you exhale, bring one hand to the earth and then lean to one side and really reach your top hand up and over. Really stretching through the side body here, planting the hand on the earth to get stability. Inhale, both arms up. And come to the other side. Oh, come on back into the center. So, so good. All right, now we're just gonna do some freestyle shoulder rolls and neck rolls. Do as you feel. About a minute here. Take care of the neck and the shoulders. We'll apply some strategy in a little while. But get whatever you need here. Improvise, rock and roll, shake it out. Another 15 seconds or so. Oh, yeah, so good. All right, my friends, let's come around to a tabletop. And then as you come into your tabletop, if there is another shape that you would like to take, maybe you want to do some rounds of cat-cow, or maybe you want to lift into downward facing dog or child's pose, extended child's pose, any of these variations here. Feel free to get some side to side and downward facing dog, or maybe puppy pose. You choose here, yogi's choice. We're going to do this for about 90 seconds, so feel free to move through a few different variations here. The intention here is to start opening up through the shoulders and the front of the rib cage. Knees wide, palms on the earth, face your fingers in towards the thighs. Ready? 30 seconds. However many you can do in 30 seconds. Go, go, go. I see you looking fierce. Do it again. Really open the jaw here. Can you get another one in? Sit back on your heels. Shake your hands out. Get the elbows and the shoulders involved. So we don't typically think of the sides of the body. We tend to think of the back and the front of the body, but we're going to take care of the side of the body now with side lying Buddha. Any variation of this that you like. If you've been with me before, and I know that if you're here with me on the live stream, you have been with me on this one before, so take whatever variation that you would like. I'm going to demonstrate for anybody who comes to watch the recording who is new to this. Here's the tallest version of side lying Buddha. Bring your knees together, stack them, put your palm on the earth, and sit tall. Now, the intention here is to side stretch. So you're going to kind of lean into the shoulder and let it drop so that you're letting gravity create this pulling action and this stretching action for the side ribs. So there's one. If you want a little bit more, maybe bring your elbow to the earth. And again, letting gravity do part of this work. So really sinking into the shoulder, letting that stretch. And this is also helping to stretch the rotator cuff. Still got my knees stacked here. Other options. Let me scoot this way so you can see the whole thing. Bring your elbow or your upper arm to the earth. Rest your head here. Another variation is just to lay the head on the upper arm. A little bit less intense, but you still get a lot of the same benefits of the side stretch. If you like cat pulling its tail, let your top knee come down. Take your top hand and hold on to the bottom foot. Good stuff, cat pulling its tail. And then in the opposite direction, bringing the bottom knee up, stretch the top leg out, and then turn your torso towards the earth and rest here for sleeping deer. Any of them or all of them? We're going to be doing this for another minute or so. One of my friends told me one time that they particularly loved this class because it was basically just rolling around on the floor until you feel better. So thanks for taking the time to roll around on the floor and feel better. You know, we did that when we were kids, so you can still do it when you're a grown up. Keep breathing deeply. All right, my friends, we're going to come around to our belly for some belly-based back bends. Come onto the belly, stretch your legs out. So I'm going to do Sphinx pose today. If there are other back bends that you like, please enjoy them. We're going to be here for about 60 seconds. Another 20 seconds or so. And now let's come around to the other side for side lying Buddha, cat pulling its tail, sleeping deer. A couple of minutes here. Fine tune this and customize it for yourself. Doesn't have to be the same on both sides, ever. So one of the things I'm going to be working on a little bit later today is the next interview for my podcast interview series, Succinct and Substantial. So stay tuned. I'm going to be releasing that in the next couple of days. I'm working on the post production editing of it. I've interviewed a very interesting woman who is a writer, a novelist, a poet, a musician, a songwriter, a woman of many talents named Shay Krispinski. So stay tuned for that. I've also got a whole lot of other stuff coming up on my Patreon, on the YouTube live channel. So I'm hoping that you will be able to check all of that out coming soon. It's springtime almost. So I've got a lot of seeds that I'm planting that are going to be blossoming very soon. Whew, lots of tension there. So, so good. All right, let's come around to our bellies again for another back bend. So this time I'm going to do crocodile. This is more of a resting back bend. If there is another one that you would like, please enjoy it. About a minute here. Now you may find, I know sometimes when I lay face down like this and I lay the tops of my feet on the earth that I get a cramp in the arch or both arches of my feet. So that can happen sometimes. And if that happens to you, you can maybe tuck the toes, maybe roll the feet around the ankles, see if you can ease that out. All right, my friends, bring your hands under your shoulders, press up, and then send yourself back. We're going to come back into a tabletop or downward facing dog. So feel free to do some cat cow stretches. Again, moving the spine around any way that you need to. Child pose, dolphin, down dog. Freestyle this. Handful of breaths. And we're going to do another round of lion's breath. So bring your toes together again, knees apart, palms to the earth. Another 30 seconds. Ready? And go. One more. Shake it loose. So good. All right, bring yourself around to a seat. We're going to start working through head and shoulders, neck. Hi. Thank you for taking care of yourself today. All right, come around to your seat. Let's take a few freestyle, roll it out. All right, let's take care of the neck. Let's apply a little strategy. And we're going to work with the kind of the first layer of fascia. There's lots of layers of the fascia. We're going to start addressing the topmost layer, which is right under the skin. All right, so we're going to drop one ear to one shoulder. This is my right ear, right shoulder, whichever one you want to start on. We'll be sure to do both. Okay, so now that we're here, what we're going to do is the opposite part of the neck. Take one hand and bring it to the base of the jaw. And you're just going to gently pull, right? Just like you're, almost like you're just putting on moisturizer, right? So just really gently holding on to the base of the jaw with one hand, and then take a hold of the shoulder, the edge of the shoulder with the other hand, and just gently pulling apart. This is helping to stretch out this specific part of the fascia network, right? That stretches from the base of the jaw out to the acromion process. And then next up, let this hand rest in the lap or on the earth, and then bring the hand, if you're on the right, bring the right hand up and over. And while we're here, while the ear is towards the shoulder, tilt your head around. Look at the floor, look at the ceiling. Go slow and easy. And wherever you feel that needs some extra attention, pause there and breathe. A good way to determine those little sticky spots, if you don't feel it immediately, right? Sometimes we get so tense that things can just get numb. But if your breath like hitches up or you feel something twitch, that's usually a good indication. So listening into your body's signals and then attending to them. And then the hardest part of all is trying not to judge about how that came about or why. Just notice that it is, and then address it with some ease and gentleness to yourself. I know that's a whole lot easier to say than do. Give it a try though. Let go of the hand, keep the ear to the shoulder, and now we're going to turn and look at that shoulder and then pause there. Looking down at the shoulder, looking down at the floor, past your shoulder, and getting your chin as close to your shoulder as you can, creating the maximum amount of space for the opposite side of the neck. Let's go in the opposite direction, keeping the ear over the shoulder. Now turn and look up at the ceiling. Look forward and then bring your chin to your chest. Let your head hang. And then roll the other ear to the other shoulder. Okay, let's take care of the fascia. So bringing the right hand to the right shoulder, left hand to the right jaw. And again, this just gentle, very easy pulling. And like me, you might carry a lot of tension in your neck and shoulders. I always have, which is one of the reasons why I developed this particular sequence. It was for my own benefit, but I found myself benefiting so much that I wanted to be able to share this more widely. Thanks for being here. And then let go. Keep the right ear to the, excuse me, left ear to the left shoulder or whichever side you're on, and bring that hand up and over. Give yourself a little gravity assist. All right, let that go. And now we're gonna keep the ear over the shoulder and we're gonna turn the chin, turn the face towards the floor. Look over your shoulder down at the earth. Keep that breath moving. All right, let's take it in the opposite direction. Slow and easy. Keep the ear draped over the shoulder. Look up at the ceiling. Look forward. And then drop your chin to your chest. And this time we're going to interlace the fingers and bring them across the back of the head, adding a little weight to the back of the head. Don't pull, just hang. Keep your chin to your chest, but release the hands from the back of the head. And then gently bring your head back up to neutral. All right, now we're going to keep the head neutral, and then we're going to turn the chin over the left shoulder and then pull your right shoulder back, and then bring your right hand back around the back of the body. Left chin, excuse me, chin over the left shoulder. And then put your right hand back around the back of the body until you can really feel this stretching along the clavicle and whatever else is stretching. That's all good. Release. Turn the other direction. Chin over the right shoulder. Press the left shoulder back. Bring the left hand back around. Couple more deep breaths here. And release all that back to neutral. And now we're just going to do some gentle neck rolls. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder. Let the head drop back. Slow and easy. Don't let yourself get dizzy here. Go slow enough that you're not feeling any kind of dizziness or giddy. The fullest range of motion that you can experience here. And the next time that your chin comes around to the chest, pause there. And then rock it in the opposite direction. And the next time your chin comes to your chest, pause there. Bring your head back up to neutral. Let's start addressing the shoulders. So we're going to lift and drop the right shoulder and then lift and drop the left shoulder. 3 rounds for each shoulder. Inhale, lift the right shoulder up. Exhale, let it drop. Inhale, shoulder up. Drop it. One more. Left shoulder. Both shoulders. So good. Now, up, back, down. Full control with the breath here. Inhale up. Exhale, roll it back. Roll it down. Release. Let's do it all over again. And up again. Last one. Inhale up. Let's take it in the other direction. Roll forward. Twice more. One more. Freestyle, roll it out. Let's take care of the hands. Hands to your shoulders. Your other shoulders, known as your hip bones. Bring your arms akimbo. Spread those fingers wide to get the maximum benefit, stretching for the palms as well as the web of the hands. If you're curious about my t-shirt, that's the Om symbol that you see at the edges here. And it is the molecular diagram of the dopamine molecule. And on the back of my t-shirt, it says, kindness is fierce. Shake it loose. Really shake it loose. Shake all that nasty tension out of your fingers. And let's take care of the individual fingers. Bring one hand up in front of you, palm facing up, and then take the fingers of the other hand and pull your pinky back. Give it a breath for each finger. Switch hands when you've gotten the fingers and one hand taken care of. Looking at the clock here, it's 9:26. We're going to go just a little past 9:30 today so that you can get the full benefit of supported fish. But if you need to keep an eye on the time, keep an eye on the time. If there's anything else that you need stretch wise for the hands, for the shoulders, for the neck, take it and then settle into your supported fish pose. Bringing any kind of support that you like underneath the backs of the shoulders, or maybe the entire back, and maybe the back of the head. And then rest. And remember that you can do whatever you like with your legs in supported fish. So maybe you like for them to be stretched out in front of you, like you're in Savasana. Maybe you want to bring your feet into butterfly pose, pressing the feet together, letting the knees fall open. Or maybe you want to bring your feet to the earth and let your knees be in the air. I invite you to find the fullest comfort possible in supported fish because you've done all of the work. We've done this active stretching for the last 35 minutes or so. And so now I'm going to invite you to just settle in and let the rest do the rest. Just rest in supported fish. If there is another shape that you like, if you want child's pose or savasana or anything else, please enjoy it. And for the next 5 minutes, do nothing but breathe and let the benefit of all of this soak in. Rest here. This is well deserved. Thank you for claiming your birthright. Welcome back. If you want to continue resting and have the luxury of doing that, please continue to rest. If you're ready to move on, I invite you to stretch and bring yourself up around to a seat to close our practice today. Thank you. Safe, healthy, happy, and free. You, me, everyone, all beings, everywhere, always. Peace. Let's go be a mighty kindness to ourselves and everyone we connect to. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'm so glad that you were here with me today. Take good care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Tomorrow, on Friday, the live stream starts at 8:15 a.m. for, excuse me, the moon flow and yoga nidra. So come join me for a little bit of lunar lore, a moon flow, and then resting meditation. Take care. I'll see you next time.